Thanks for joining me again as we look back at another great classic film. This is a classic Australian comedy whose charms include actors you likely won't recognise, a story that takes a highly unusual approach to the everyday challenge of relationship issues, an interesting setting in a location most people would miss if they blinked, and the balance it strikes between laughter and romance. It is All Men Are Liars from 1994. Based on an original story by writer-director Jarrett, it spent over a decade in development before shooting began in the small North Queensland town of South Johnson, a few hours from Cairns. The film engineers a number of dramatic and comedic collisions between men and women, city and country, gay and straight, and of course the honest and the dishonest. As the title suggests, all the men in this story are liars, in one way or another, but they are sympathetic enough to be people we can forgive for their indiscretions. Like a lot of small towns I've lived in, it's remarkable how many strange and unique characters you encounter. While this can be what makes them charming, it can also make them weird, scary places. This film leads towards the former, with the comedy being designed for audiences to laugh with rather than at the characters. The film's authentic feel is enhanced by the casting of locals in supporting roles and the decision to allow them to ad-lib many of their lines. Locals were also active behind the scenes, with tradespeople building the sets to help them meet the film's very low budget. It was a labour of love. The most recognisable of the cast is John Jarrett, whose previous appearances include supporting roles in Australian classics The Odd Angry Shot, Picnic at Hanging Rock, The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith and We of the Never Never. But he's best known today for his portrait of Mick Taylor in Wolf Creek. He puts in a strong comic performance as Barry. Toni Pearen, best known for her appearances in TV soapies E Street and Home and Away, and her short pop music career, is cast as lead singer Angela, with Toni also singing a number of songs on the film's catchy soundtrack. Mick is played by David Price, who had made several appearances in TV dramas GP, Home and Away and Water Rats. He plays the cross-dressing straight man who is pivotal to holding things together for both his family and his small town. All Men Are Liars opened the 42nd Sydney Film Festival and was released theatrically in August of 1995. It was a modest success at the Australian box office, grossing over $800,000, but it didn't get an international release. Many reviews have noted the similarities with the 1959 comedy Some Like It Hot, including a storyline about cross-dressing men who join an all-female band and fall in love with the beautiful lead singer. But this is as far as any comparison goes. There were also unfavourable comparisons to Tootsie and to more successful Australian films such as Priscilla, Queen of the Desert and Muriel's Wedding, but the comparisons are superficial at best. Reviews were mixed. Adrian Martin in The Age said plotlines dribble away, the gags are weak and most scenes have an irritating unreality, such as the spectacle of a supposed punk dyke grunge band playing soft pop covers of blues rock standards. Rob Lowing of the Sun Herald said All Men Are Liars frequently seem to lose the plot completely while generating an air of good humour that it's hard not to be carried along with. Lee has a nice feel for his Queensland country locale, and his rather simple framing actually helps fill up the story with bold colours and long close-ups. Anna Marie Deloso of the Sydney Morning Herald said, "What sets All Men Are Liars apart are the exceptionally fine characterisations. Its multi-layered themes and a seemingly effortless, well-timed wit that is sharp and sardonic, but also celebratory and affectionate." David Stratton said the film delights and amuses with Toni Pearen making the leap to the big screen with great success, but the film's principal delight is the wonderful, rich performance of John Jarrett, who is almost unrecognisable as Barry, the crass Elvis wannabe, which is a highlight of his career. And Luke Buckmaster, in film, described it as a sweet-natured, modestly risque rom-com, which succeeds in building a charm all of its own. It was nominated for a number of Australian Film Institute awards, including for Best Film and Best Original Script, but didn't win. It screened at the 1997 San Jose Film Festival, where it tied with Le Secret de Jérôme for Best Feature Film. Lee was also nominated for the Maverick Spirit Award, but lost to Dawn Pence for The Closest Thing to Heaven. Lots of good reasons to watch this film. Toni Pearen has great on-screen magnetism, the film's setting feels like a place you'd want to visit, and the characters are people you'd like to meet. The extended cast feels authentic, the interactions are realistic, and there are many great comic moments that leave you smiling. It's a fun, feel-good movie. So, what I'd suggest you do is that you go to our website, find our virtual screenings page, find the link to this particular film, click on it and watch it, see what you think, and as always, we'd invite you to come back, let us know your thoughts about the film and whether you recommend it for others as well. And then we're back in the not too distant future for our next classic films review. See you next time.